Hmm. I'll be right back, y'all. I gotta go rinse this out. Yeah. I'm back, y'all. Um, I had this canteen with some oranges in it, but the oranges been out a while, and they didn't taste good. So I had to go pour that out. Got me a banana to get the taste away. It did its job. Um, we're gonna get right into it. Cancel that out. I think my phone it be on autoplay like 100% of the time. Like if I'm not on it, it'll just go straight to the next video. I hate that part. But we're gonna go to the home screen and see what we got. Okay, let's see. Okay, this is 12 greatest number 30 entrants in the Royal Rumble history. I think before we watched the worst.
Well, if it isn't lucky number 27. Supposedly the actual best number to enter from to win the Royal Rumble match, or so we thought. Yeah, it turns out that lucky 27 had all its luck run out over 20 years ago, and since then, number 30 has indeed become the number to pull when it comes to winning the Royal Rumble. Not only has it yielded more winners than any other number, but it has yielded more memorable performances than any other number as well. Last week we covered the number 30s that are memorable for the wrong reasons, but the Rumble is a joyous occasion, and now it's time to reflect that. I'm Tempest, hailing from Parts Fun Known, and these are the 12 greatest number 30 entrants in Royal Rumble history. Number 12, Mr. Perfect, 1990. The 1990 Royal Rumble is the first great Royal Rumble, and its final entrant was perfectly adequate. The role of the final entrant in many of the early Rumbles was to serve as the final boss of the match for the conquering babyface to throw out last, and honestly, if it isn't going to be the winner, and it isn't going to be a surprise, that's a pretty good use of the spot. After two mildly successful Royal Rumbles, Hulk Hogan decided it was his turn to be the winner, and so he needed an adversary to stand in his way, and at the start of 1990, that would be his current rival, Mr. Perfect. Perfect runs quarterback with the heels as they try to unite to eliminate Hulk the Inevitable, only for Perfect to accidentally on purpose eliminate Rick Rude before being thrown ass over tea kettle to the outside in the best elimination of the match. It may not be the all-timer of a performance we would see later, but for this time, as a number 30 entrant, this was absolutely acceptable. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not saying it. Moving on. Number 11, Seth Rollins, 2020 Men's. At the end of the brilliantly paced 2020 Men's Rumble was the arrival of the Monday Night Messiah, Seth Rollins. Seth was feuding with about half the Raw roster at the time, and conveniently for all of us, those lads, namely Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and Aleister Black, were all in the ring when Rollins and the Monday Night Menagerie arrived. Seth isn't a number 30 that made it to the final 2 or even the final 4 for that matter, but as soon as he arrived, the focus of the match shifted to the threat of Rollins and his goons. A number 30 entrant just has to be important, and Rollins certainly qualified. Add in an attempted Shield reunion, and you have an incredibly effective use of the final live Rumble pop we got for 2 whole years. Number 10, Randy Orton, 2006. The 2006 Royal Rumble is a bit of a mixed bag, but little Rey Mysterio lasting from number 2 and having to overcome one last hurdle in the form of 2006 douchebag Randy Orton is one of the greatest underdog performances in Rumble history. Orton aligns himself with former mentor and fellow bastard Triple H, and while it may seem ridiculous that those 2 big muscle men with their combined might could not have eliminated one little Rey Mysterio, it is that adversity that makes Rey's victory that much more cathartic. Orton takes his time trying to win the match, aka he f***ed around and finds out, but in doing so he plays his role perfectly as the fresh man that stands in the beloved underdog's way. Good number 30. Number 9, Ted DiBiase, 1989. The first number 30 entrant in Royal Rumble history was a good one, as the $1 Million Man tried to buy his way to victory. Does it work like that? Can you buy someone's ping pong ball? Who did he buy it from? Did they really care so little? The 1989 Royal Rumble was still a work in progress, and as a result isn't terribly memorable outside of the progression of the Mega Power story, but the evil cartoon millionaire wrestler buying the best slot in the match is just the kind of wackiness I want in my 80s WWF. Ted DiBiase's performance is quite good as well, finishing as the runner-up with 3 eliminations, setting a very respectable standard for all number 30s to come. Number 8, Goldberg, 2004. Listen, I know the popular thing to do these days is hate Goldberg, but I'm sorry. When I see this man enter the 2004 Royal Rumble and run straight through Nunzio, I just can't be mad at him. My lizard brain just gets activated when I see Goldberg wrestle. He doesn't win the 04 Rumble, nor does he come particularly close thanks to interference from Brock Lesnar, but the 2 minutes that I spent watching Goldberg in the 2004 Rumble is the most I have felt alive all day. He spears Big Show, spears Billy Gunn, punch, kill Nunzio dead, and then get eliminated. Rent was due, and Goldberg made the most of his minutes. Both of them. Number 7.
Oh, he was only
Begin.
Shayna Baszler, 2020 Women's. Charlotte Flair was always going to win a Royal Rumble match, but goddamn should this have been Shayna Baszler's year. Straight out of NXT, where she had spent almost 2 straight years as champion, Shayna entered at number 30 and went on a rampage, eliminating 8 women in under 5 minutes. Frustration over Shayna losing aside, she plays her role as the final boss of the Women's Rumble perfectly, arriving with all the aura of a main event superstar, and unfortunately for her, she would never quite have this aura again. Maybe because of the biting. It was probably because of the biting. But for these 5 minutes, Shayna was everything a great surprise number 30 should have been. Should have won though. Number 6, Trish Stratus, 2018 Women's. The first ever Women's Royal Rumble match needed a great number 30 to cement its place as a proper match in WWE folklore, and I don't think there's anyone who could have fit that role better than Trish Stratus. That might be my Toronto bias coming out, but I don't care. Trish is a living legend, and her inclusion in this match alone makes it better. One of the issues with the first Women's Rumble is that it's literally the first one, so many involved, including the Kelly Kellys, Tori Wilsons, and Michelle McCools that were brought back to fill out the field, kind of struggle with this style of match that they are very unfamiliar with. Trish Stratus, on the other hand, made the end of the match the best part. She reignites her rivalry with Mickie James, she teases a match with Sasha Banks that we still may never receive, and above all else, she makes the first Women's Rumble feel special. Which it was. Number 5, Triple H, 2016. Triple H winning the WWE Championship in the year of our Lord 2016 really should make me angrier than it does, but I just can't bring myself to hate this match or this performance. WWE does the Roman Iron Man run to high heaven, but the finish of this match with Triple H returning from his brutal beatdown at the hand of Roman Reigns in December to eliminate Roman, provide us with this excellent reaction gif, and have an awesome final stretch against Dean Ambrose to once again establish himself as the heel, because of course everyone was going to cheer when he eliminated Roman, was a perfectly logical piece of business. It isn't quite on the same level as the other number 30 winners we will get to, but it is close. It's like a B+, like Triple H himself. Number 4, China, 1999. Ooh, putting China one spot higher than Triple H does feel good, doesn't it? For over 20 years, there was only one name on the list of women to compete in the Royal Rumble, and that was China. If you merely look at this entry on paper, it probably doesn't catch a whiff of this list. China racks up one elimination in the form of Mark Henry, but lasts only 35 seconds in the match before being eliminated by Steve Austin, and honestly, given the time this happened, they probably saddled Henry with that spot to try and humiliate him. But all of that doesn't really matter, does it? What does matter is China making history that is still talked about by fans and fellow wrestlers all these years later. Most of the people on this list, while great, would still require a bit of thought to remember the circumstances of their night as number 30, but not China. You say China in the Royal Rumble, and anyone who has seen a Royal Rumble video package will know exactly what you were talking about, and that, my friends, is what it means to be iconic. Number 3, Cody Rhodes, 2023 men's. Oh, just a few years ago, the words Cody Rhodes Royal Rumble winner would have tasted like vinegar, but now it's a different story. A still unfinished story, but a different story nonetheless. Some people criticized Cody entering at number 30, partially due to the number being used as the winning ticket more frequently in recent years, and partially because Gunther lasting from number 1 maybe didn't make Cody seem like the underdog he could have, but considering the reaction this match could have gotten if WWE fans had even the slightest hope that Sami Zayn could have been number 30, I think saving Cody for last when the fans know he's coming is a frankly brilliant move. Now that the boring stuff is out of the way, holy shit, Cody and Gunther giving us the Royal Rumble Final 2 of this generation was enough to make that match an all-time Rumble on its own. Cody was the right winner, got 5 eliminations, and had to go through the adversity of the most physically dominant man in WWE today in order to get the title shot at Mania he wanted so badly, and for that, he is in the top tier. However, he does have company. Number 2, The Undertaker, 2007. Giving us the Royal Rumble Final 2 of the previous generation, here is Gravedigger Billy himself. The Undertaker winning the Royal Rumble in 2007 did a lot for the match to have him as a winner, but the manner in which he won was what made this not only one of the greatest number 30 performances in the history of the Royal Rumble, but one of the greatest Royal Rumble matches in history, period. From the moment that gong hits, the complexion of the match changes, and before you know it, you have an excellent Final 4 of Rated RKO, Shawn Michaels, and the Dead Man. All potential winners, but when Shawn is able to eliminate the bad lads, that's when this match truly reached legendary status. Keep in mind that Shawn and The Undertaker had not crossed paths once in the years since Shawn returned from retirement. All those years, with all that previous history, and then one sits up, the other kips up, and then there were 2, and so began the mini-match. Everyone knows this is the greatest Final 2 in Royal Rumble history, and I really can't overstate how much I love this Rumble ending. As a performance, it's the greatest there has ever been out of a number 30 entrant. It may be impossible to do better, but in terms of the greatest number 30 ever, I'm just not sure anything will ever surpass number 1, John Cena, 2008. I mean, the surprise was so good New York City forgot they hated this man. The older members of our staff may disagree because of their inability to let go of their very understandable Cena hate, but this just is the Royal Rumble return. This is the Royal Rumble number 30. Every time there's a huge return from injury in a Royal Rumble, it's compared to this. They just don't make them like this anymore. And to tell you the truth, they didn't make him like this beforehand either. At no point has there ever been another like John Cena who could return from a torn pec in less than 4 months. He is not human, and his appearance in the 2008 Royal Rumble may have angered the anti-Cena crowd of the time, but the surprise. This is the feeling that we are always chasing when we watch a Royal Rumble. When the clock counts down to 0 for number 30, we hope to feel this way again. I tip my cap to WWE, John Cena, everyone involved for managing to pull this off and set a bar so high that it may never be reached again. And that's our list. Please make sure that you check out all the other lists that we have on this here channel. Give this video a like and subscribe to never miss a list just like it, and check out this clip from the
Thank y'all for watching. We're gonna see